Hey, good morning and welcome to the Morning Coffee Show. I'm Prince Hakeem.
I'm Mandela.
And today we will be discussing something that's very interesting. Some of you guys may think it's a little crazy, and some of you are doing it right now. The pros and cons of being friends with someone you dated, your ex. Is it possible? What do you think?
Not necessarily.
No?
No.
Can make it work.
I'm not calling my ex to go out and have a drink or...
True. Maybe not to that extent, but there's different levels of friendships. You got associates, you can kind of consider them friends. You have best friends. You have people that you just, I don't know, you call every now and then to make sure they're okay. But then you have like people you talk to every single day. Maybe not to that extent as an ex, right?
I think it depends. It depends on a number of things.
I've tried it in the past.
Don't work. You're not good at it?
Didn't work. It was just, you gotta know why.
Some people just can't do it.
Right.
Some people just can't. And I think it's important to be honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to say like, I'm the type of person that can do that, or I'm the type of person that can't do that.
Right.
And I think there's also like the dynamics of a relationship, right? Because some people just have people in their lives that constantly make them do things that are out of character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I have this person that, you know, for some reason they're always able to get under my skin.
Right.
That's not that person. Then like, y'all don't need to be friends. Or,
right.
You know, it just depends on the dynamics of that relationship. So I think it's possible, but I also think it depends on a lot of other factors. But I didn't want to touch anything that's in what we're going to talk about. So
we're going to jump into it anyway. What's the first one?
Pros and cons, right? So the first one is figuring out why it ended, which is why I didn't want to get into like what I was saying.
That's important because some exes are exes for a reason.
So now, when I read this, I was like, in my head, I'm thinking like, yeah, like exes are exes for a reason. So sometimes there could be a pro and a con to this. Is that like we figure out how it ended, right. So maybe we just didn't work well together as a couple.
Right.
But it is possible that you could say like me and you don't work as a relationship, but maybe we would be better as just friends. Right. But again, that has to be something that you know that you can accommodate, that you have like boundaries in place enough to switch from being in a relationship to being friends.
And you know, you have to look at it like this too. Like if y'all just started dating and you really didn't get too far into the relationship, it's like let's see if this is going to be a relationship. Y'all kind of did some dating type stuff. Like y'all went out, you hung out, you spent, you know, some time together, but it just wasn't lining up. Y'all was more comfortable being friends. Then okay, we can talk about it. Now we know. But if y'all was together for like mad years and shared a lot of things together,
it might be a little more challenging.
It's tough.
I think it might be a little more challenging.
It's tough. It leads into the next one a little bit. This person knows you better than most. So like I said, it depends on how much of the relationship or how far in the relationship you guys were. This person may know you deeper than some of your relatives, you know. And it's not bad having somebody that knows you like that. They know what you like, what you don't like. And they can respect the boundaries because they know your boundaries. Right.
But I think that's also, again, that's like, that could be real tough. Because then, I mean, let's just say they know all these things about you and y'all are cool and you start dating somebody new. And this person is like a friend that's always around. That could be really intimidating for a new person. But like almost a put off.
But if they know you and they know your boundaries, like, look, you know I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? I need you to scoot. You go. You making it awkward for everyone.
So we talked about this topic a little bit beforehand.
We did.
And part of something that you said to me was sometimes when we decide to do things like this, we say like, oh, we dated, we can be cool, blah, 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 blah. sometimes I'm going to say most times it's just my opinion. It's not like a fact. It's one-sided.
It is.
Like, I think that if we were dating and you said, you know what, Amanda, I think we'd be better off just friends. And I still liked you to be in a relationship with you.
Right.
Then you're saying I could be friends with you, but I'm accommodating this friendship just because I want you.
I got you. In hopes it would
of like maybe you'll come back around the block. I don't know. So
that's in some of the cons. We'll talk about that
in turn, what happens? Like you say, like, yeah, I have this person around me that I'm comfortable with, that we have dated, but I didn't think it was gonna work out. But then you get a new person and you have this weird side extra person that you're just cool with.
Right.
But they know like you used to date. Or people will say like, oh, I just won't tell nobody that. Like, I won't make it known that we used to date. And then it just gets weird and crazy and awkward. And people, like, I think that people are way more observant than people give them credit for.
Right.
So you always feel when something's off. And eventually things like that come up.
But I would say it's your fault if you don't correct the behavior. Like, if you allow this person to consistently hang around, invite themselves on dates with you or to places with you or just show up to your house with a key.
I'm just thinking like
they
group settings.
Like,
sometimes when you're dating people, y'all do things like as a like group, like, hey, come with me. I'm going to go to a friend's house.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever. And then you end up in like this atmosphere where... And I think those are most times where like an ex might be involved or something like that. And things can get kind of awkward.
It could. But the other person that you're dealing with now should be more secure in themselves and say, I mean, y'all are ex for a reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, as long as you're not getting super friendly, I'm cool. You know? Mm-hmm. But if this person consistently coming around all the time and inviting themselves to these places, no, we're going to have a whole conversation about this. Like, look, they need to like back off just a little bit because it's not about me being insecure. It's about them disrespecting the boundary. The boundary is, how can we build if they're still hanging around as much as they are? Y'all can be friends, but not as much as you are because you're muddying the water a little bit.
So what do you think about like people that are friends with their ex, but their ex is not like physically around? Maybe they're just on the phone a lot, or the ex is asking them like life type questions, like, hey, what do you think I should do about this, or blah 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 blah.
So that's the thing too. Like, that still doesn't make it better, I guess, because being on the phone consistently all the time and constantly calling, that still takes away from the time you can be with the person that you're with. You know what I'm saying? And conversation sometimes can spark another thought in another person. So they're going through something, now you're going to do it as well. So that, you know, you're kind of sucking them in. It's still an emotional thing. Mm-hmm. So if it's calling for advice every now and then, cool. But if it's like every day, 7 days a week, y'all just always on the phone, it's kind of like, what do y'all have to talk about? Did y'all talk that much when y'all dated? Because that's what people do when they date.
And I'm only bringing it up like to play devil's advocate, right? Is that there's a lot of dynamics that play into like how people form relationships, build relationships, how things continue to progress in relationships. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody, I'm thinking like all the possible venues that people have, like avenues that people have of, you know, contact with like people these days is like social media, emails, phones. Like there are so many other ways to communicate with somebody. Yeah. So where do you draw the line on what's appropriate and what is not, and what's overstepping the amount of time or investment that you place into a previous relationship when you're trying to move on with your life? Even like when people say like, oh, it's different because we have kids, or it's different because it was like a long-term relationship, or it's different because I was involved with all of their family. Or, you know, I had a really great relationship with his mom or his dad or whatever. Like, where do you draw the line to say, okay, we're not in a relationship anymore. So how do I say like, this is where this ends?
Well, you gotta set that boundary, but the boundary has to be set where you feel comfortable, not where they feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. So if you're okay with them, you know, constantly be in contact with you all the time, and that's your comfortability with that situation, then fine. If it's every now and then I'll check in on you, make sure you're okay. Great. You have a relationship with my parents or whatever because we grew up together, we dated or whatever. You know, that's fine. I don't have to be around for that. You know, we share mutual friends, so that's going to be a thing. I don't have to be around every time you're around these people. But you have to kind of set those parameters, because if you don't, then the lines are so blurred. You know, it's starting to look like y'all still date.
It makes things difficult. And in the beginning, it might not even be an issue, right? Because in the beginning of a breakup or a separation or whatever, you're not totally considering the fact that I'm trying to move on with my life, blah, 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 blah. I was involved with their family. They were involved with mine. But you might have to consider the fact that someone else seeing that from the outside is going to look at that like, what's going on? You know, what are you doing? Or their limitations are set because, say, you're heavily involved with that person's family. Right. I can't go with you to their house.
No, we're not going to Thanksgiving together.
Yeah, I can't go with you. So am I naturally eliminated from Thanksgiving because you still hang out with your ex's parents?
No, you can't. You don't go to your ex's parents' house for Thanksgiving. Like, go to your people's crib. Don't come to my people's crib.
What if their people became your people?
Then that's sticky. Y'all dealing with that. I'm sorry. It happens. Y'all had to just come to
and like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Because I couldn't see me sitting at the Thanksgiving table with my family, with my ex there, with my new person that I'm with. It's just that.
Well, I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm thinking about, like, obviously I was married at one point in time, and his friends became my friends, right? And at some point, when that relationship ended, I had to be realistic about even my friendships. And it wasn't to say I was cutting off on my friends, no. But when somebody had a party, if I knew he was invited, I had to heavily consider the fact that, am I going? Am I going to be comfortable going? Or what if he shows up with somebody else? Am I going to be comfortable with that? Or what if I show up with somebody else? Is he going to be comfortable with that? And it's not to say that you consider everything that everyone else is feeling, but you don't want to feel uncomfortable. Yeah. And you don't want to make somebody else feel uncomfortable.
If I was dating someone that had their ex around and I had to come around too, I would be like, this is awkward. Like, I don't think I would want to go. I'm like, if you're going to go, that's fine. I'm not going to go. Because if I go, I already know just how I react to certain situations, because your ex sometimes can do extra stuff to try to make it way uncomfortable.
That's why I said I said about maybe I'm okay with being friends with you, because I can be realistic about the fact that, maybe this relationship just wasn't going to work and we'd be better off as friends. Right. Or it came to a point where we were no longer growing in a relationship and it'd be healthier for us to just go separate ways. Yeah. Maybe one of you is the person who's realistic enough about it, but that's not to say that the other side is always going to be that person. Yeah. And it creates a situation where it makes it hard to integrate a new person. And if you're saying me and my ex are cool and I don't really want to get involved with anybody else right now and I don't care about that, that's fine. Yeah. But I also think there's always going to come a time where if you're trying to integrate a new person, it's going to be challenging to integrate them into something that's already integrated elsewhere. Yeah. You know, if we have mutual friends, you still hang out with them, I still hang out with them. And then now I feel weird bringing the new person around because that person's still around too. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and now you're like, oh, what do I do? So I just keep you separated from my friends and all my family because that person's still around too. And you may not necessarily be in a relationship with that person. Yeah. But you never draw a line. You know, you never drew a boundary there to say okay, this is where I have to stop doing this. Because there was a time where it felt horrible for me to say you know what? I don't think it's going to be cool for me to be in the same space as him for a little while.
Yeah.
And some of our mutual friends, when they had functions and stuff like that, I had to be like, you know what? I'll send you a gift, but I don't think I'm going to go.
Yeah. Because you know yourself. You know, hey, and real quick, sign up themselves. Friends of the two people, if they ever get in the same space together, if they have other people with them or not, the rudest thing you can say is, you guys should get back together. Y'all was so good together. Y'all look so good together.
Don't do that.
Y'all was so happy together. They're separated. They are no longer dating. They are no longer married for a reason.
Mind your business.
If that was the case, they would never broke up in the first place.
Mind your business.
Don't do that. You make that so hard.
You know what's crazy? If you want to be somebody's friend, mind your business.
That's it.
That's a good friend. A good friend keeps their opinion to themselves. That's it. And if one asks you, it's not my business. I'm friends with both of y'all.
That's it.
I'm staying on this side. If you want to stay friends with both of them.
You can't do nothing about that, dog.
You can't.
They're not together. Okay?
So what was the next?
So the next one, new opportunity. We did kind of off rail, but it's okay.
The new opportunity was meant to say, like, this could be someone that could potentially be a good friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had that. So it was like the early stages, like I said earlier, the earlier stages of dating someone. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, you have a few things I like, but not like I couldn't see the whole relationship. Yeah, I couldn't see like us really going further. And before we go too far, let's just go ahead and push the brakes and say, let's just be friends. And, you know, for a long time, me and this person was really great friends. And nothing ever transpired from there because it's like, you know what, I know things about you that I know if I was in a relationship, I couldn't deal with. And you know things about me that you couldn't deal with. So let's not kid each other and try to make this something other than what it is.
I get that.
Let's go ahead and just, you know, be friends.
So what about, because I know I have this. I don't think I have any relationships that I could really say like ended horribly, where it was like, I hate you, I never want to speak to you again. I don't have any like that.
Good for you. I wish I could say that.
That bad, huh? Yeah, I don't have any like that. But, and I think I even have some that I would say, yes, a friend in the sense that if I picked up the phone right now and said, I really need you, please help with something, they would be there. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because
the basis of it is like when you love somebody or you care for somebody and it's real, it's there.
Yeah.
And as long as you didn't do anything foul and terrible and you just realized that there was something about that relationship that wasn't going to work in the moment, you can still maintain caring for somebody and accepting the fact that it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And to go to the next one says it shows your maturity. Right. And I think that's a big part of that is just accepting relationships for what they are. And they don't always work out. They're not always fantastic.
Yeah.
And they don't always even when they're very long term, the big picture that we see in the beginning isn't what pans out later.
Yeah.
Because we grow and we change. Yeah. You know, you might have started off with somebody that in that moment, they worked for you, you know, the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, you were like, what am I doing?
What is this?
Who are you?
Into.
But that's a reality check moment to say like, we're either going to work through this together and grow and build on what we have every day, or I can't do it.
Yeah. You know, the tough part, I would say for me in past relationships when I broke up with people, we just separated, is I couldn't remain friends with the women that I dated that I was madly in love with. If I was in love with you, like deep, emotional, connected love with you, and we broke up, I could not be friends with you. one, I couldn't stand seeing you with someone else. Mm-hmm. Two, those feelings don't go away immediately. So we went from being boyfriend and girlfriend, like an item, to like the next day as friends. I still love you. Like, I still have these feelings for you. I still want to be able to hug you, kiss you, touch you. I want to be able to do
Now, I've had people do that to me.
Yeah.
Like, we're full-fledged in a relationship, you know, seeing each other every day, staying at each other's house, like, and then they're like, we could just be friends.
No.
And I'm like,
I can't do that.
I mean,
you gotta go.
I'm looking at you like, we could be cool, but, because I don't, like, hate you. But I love you, so I'm not like homie.
Yeah.
Cause that's weird.
But see,
in the moment, like you said, like I need a moment to back up and get some space and let those feelings kind of like simmer down.
Yeah.
And let my little hurt ego recover a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you can't just turn things off. You can't just be like, hey, you know what? Since he said he wants to be just friends.
What's up, homie?
We're good.
I gotta have enough time to hate you. Cause I love you so much. I gotta find my time. I gotta find my space of hate.
I need a couple months to be angry.
Yeah, just what you mean you don't want me? Me? You stupid. And then, you know, but in my mind, I love you so much. If you told me you want me, I'd take you back to that. That's just where you know, if I love somebody that deep, that's what happens. Like, it was my baby pie. I love you so much. I hate you. And then, like, it's not real. The hate's not real. But, you know, you're trying to get your emotional.
It's almost like you want to practice saying it.
Yeah.
I hate you.
And you see him in the face, I hate you. But then you see him, it never comes out like that.
And then you, like, in the house, do you rip pictures?
I have ripped pictures, but I take them back. Not being weird. It was just like, I probably should have did that.
You know what's funny? I think everybody does that.
Rip it and take it back?
At some point. I think at some point in everybody's life, they rip a picture in half, or they rip it in pieces and try to put it back, or they look at it and they're like, I shouldn't have done that. What was I doing? Yeah. And then they never admit it because they think it's creepy and crazy.
Yeah. No, I did.
I've done it.
I deleted text messages, and I was like, oh my God, I probably should have did that.
You ever, like, deleted something or erased something or threw something away, and you're like, I hate you, I don't care.
But you can't ever get it back.
And then, like, 5 minutes go by, and you're like,
oh my God.
I threw that in the garbage.
Yeah. I burned it.
I'm about to go jump in the dumpster.
So fair assessment with this, and to all my ex-girlfriends, I don't have any of y'all stuff anymore. Like, all that stuff is gone. I either burned it, threw it away, put it in water, flushed it. It's gone. I had to get rid of all of it.
Oh.
I have no feelings. I'm cold. All right, so the next one is
notice how I didn't say that.
You get to see.
I have stuff.
She just a whole chest of stuff.
But don't be sad you're in the shoebox with everybody else. No.
Yeah. Oh, wow, it's a communal box of stuff. You don't have your own separate stuff. Like that's
the
crazy.
Xbox.
The Xbox. That was good. I like that. That's the real Xbox. All right. Anyway.
Okay.
You get to see. Hold on. We got one more.
Oh, we got one more.
You get to see a different side. So absolutely, now that you're not romantically involved with this person, you now get to see this person in different elements.
The friend zone.
Yeah, friend zone, but you get to see him in a different element now. Because when you
might fall in love all over again.
You might. You just never know. But when you're like, you're more relaxed when you're friends.
Yeah,
I think that's why it's really important.
Because you're not thinking about the long term. You're like, if they stay, whatever. If they don't,
you my friend, you should see this craziness. Like you should see the kookiness. I'm corny sometimes. But like you should see that.
See. So here's what happened to me. In my younger years of dating, right? I used to be this like well put together. Like I don't want nobody to see the crazy. Like this.
You was like, you had a veil?
Yeah.
Why?
Like, I don't want nobody to run before they see the crazy.
I didn't care.
So,
let's see all my crazy.
I was like this perfect person in the beginning.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I started hearing, like, I have a lot of guy friends. So I started hearing this, like, oh, when you meet her, of course, she's perfect. And then all of a sudden, she's psycho. And I was like, is that me? Is that what I do? Not intentionally, just like trying to put on the good face and right, like give. Because you want to give a good impression. You want to. But then I came into this moment where I was like, I'm a good person, and I'm not crazy.
You stay.
I'm not like out of my mind. I'm not dirty. I don't have like any horrible bad habits. So the crazy in me, I was just like, it is what it is. Like, if I'm insecure about some things or if things bother me, I'm like, forget it. I'm gonna just say it. And if you hate it, you hate it. And you could go.
Pretty much.
And like, even if I like you, it's gonna suck, but I'll get over it.
Yeah.
And if you love it, great. Hang out for a while.
I think that's where it should be, though. And that's why I tell people, if you can, be friends first, so you get to see the real person. Like, they're gonna not always have makeup on. He's not always gonna have the fresh shaved beard and the line up appropriate all the time. You know, he may not say the right thing all the time. She may not, you know.
See, I'm weird about the friends first thing.
Why?
It's not that I'm totally against it. It's not that at all.
You need to know the insecurities.
It's not that I'm totally against it. It's just I'm one of those people who's like in or out. So I meet you, I'm like all in, and I'm willing to date you and see where it goes. Or I meet you and I'm like, not really. And then you're like friend zoned. And once you're friend zoned,
it's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard to get out of that for me.
I feel you.
So but the good part about it is that sometimes, for me, I think the good part in it is that I'm really quick one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because I get a good feel for it, like, right away. Like, we're either cool and we could be friends, or we're cool and I can explore if we can be in a relationship. But I know pretty much, like, if we go on 2 or 3 dates, and sometimes even one, I know if I'm invested or not.
Damn.
Yeah. I pretty much know if I go on 1 or 2 dates and we do some texting back and forth and like 2 or 3 conversations, I know if I'm interested.
Wow. Takes me some time. But
does it?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, but like in general, you know, when I was dating, it would take me some time. But my thing is, when you get to know like somebody and a friend, I'm not saying, oh, we're just gonna be friend zoned. I'm like, no, we're just getting to know each other, and where it's no real obligation right now within the first 30 to 60 days. If I just met you,
do you have a 90-day rule?
I guess you could say that. Like, you gotta make tryouts, man. Like, I want to commit myself too quickly to you, and then you end up being like completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
I've had some guys that were fantastic for the first month.
Yeah.
And I was like crazy about them, and then I got the real deal.
But what I'm saying is, you gotta read the signs. They're all there. Even if you have it all put together. People that have it all put together are the craziest. So you should know, like, this person's too perfect. I go to their house, it's always clean. They're always well dressed. They never show me anything outside of the norm.
Look, that's why I'm crazy from the very beginning.
Just be crazy from the top, and let's like walk our way into a relationship.
At least if you meet me and we date, what you see is what you get.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that part.
You got it. Because you'll see me like
that
this.
That part's the friend part.
You'll see me like this for work.
Yeah.
And I'll come home, and if we go out to eat, great. If we're going to a nice place, just let me know we're going to a nice place, and I'll do the nice dressing. Yeah. Or if you tell me, don't worry about it, we're going to like Smoky Bones, I'm going to throw on some jeans. Yeah. And a t-shirt and some sneakers. Right. And then you might come to my house and it might be clean. It might not be. Like.
But, you know, relationships.
But I don't do like the extra stuff just to make it appear to be something that's not.
Because relationships are vulnerable. Like, you have to be vulnerable and open yourself up to people, and they have to see you for who you are. I think you're the purest person that you are when you are friends with someone. Because your friends aren't there to judge you. They're like there. It's like, okay, that's what we're doing. Let's go. Like, or hey, you need to get your stuff together. I'm going to help you. Right. So that's what, if you can do that with somebody and then get into a relationship, that should never change, because the friendship way of things should always be there. But the relationship, the romantic part, just enhances it all. So that's why I had a rule when I did. It's like, look, we're going to get to know each other. You're going to see the good, bad, ugly, all that stuff. So you know what you're getting into. If you're jumping in too early, that can run a person away, because they're looking like, wait a minute, this is too much, too fast. But when your friends are like, you just like me. You know?
We're crazy together.
We're crazy together. I never knew. And that's why I think it works. So, all right, cons. What we got?
Exes are exes for a reason.
He said that. You are out of here for a reason. It could be because you're super crazy. I can deal with a little crazy. But super crazy, I'm talking like climbing walls, look through windows.
So this is the boundary thing.
Puncturing
so these
tires.
These are the moments where you have to say, is this person a person that simply did not work for me in a romantic relationship long term and we just decided it's not going to work? Or is this a person that it didn't work because they do not need to be in my life and they are bad for me? If they are bad for me, they do not need to be your friend either. They don't need to be in a romantic relationship with you, and they don't need to be in a relationship with you otherwise. Yeah. Period.
If they were abusive physically, mentally, emotionally, they don't need to be around you at all.
Ever.
So it's not like, oh, we can still be friends. No. They know how to manipulate you. And you get them in that space with you the whole time. They will consistently be that person. So let the past be the past. Don't worry about that.
The next one.
The past can get in the way.
So we'll linger here for a moment.
Let's just sit right here.
A moment of silence for your past, right? So the fact is like we said, exes are exes for a reason. So let's say the ex did something really grimy. Really grimy.
That's why y'all broke up.
Really grimy. They had kids. They
stole
money, slept with your best friend, slept with your brother.
Slept with your mom.
Whoa. Any of those, whatever. If that's the case, and it is something that is going to haunt you or stay like right here, and it's always going to be there, or unresolved, let's say that too, because some people, it may not be that bad, but some people have a problem acknowledging the fact their part in whatever it was. So something ends and it's kind of like lingering out there. Yeah. Like me and you didn't work out, and that's fine, and I got to say my piece, but you were just like, okay. So now, even when you say something's not going to work out or something kind of just dissolved, there's still always that one party who's kind of lingering out there going,
what happened?
What's wrong with me? Why didn't it work? So if there's something that's unresolved for you, don't try to be friends.
No.
Or try to resolve it first. Because some people feel like they have to be friends because they have kids or something in common or whatever. Resolve the issue. Because things left in the air and kind of unsaid, the elephant in the room, that's a bomb.
That's an argument waiting to happen. And also, y'all can start having conversations about why y'all should get back together. Right? So,
because people tend to feel like because something's unresolved, they gotta find a way to fix it.
Yeah, there's an opportunity.
We either have to patch it back together, or we need to like figure out what went wrong. And do you think we should revisit it? Like, and it gets crazy. So to avoid all of that, if it's unresolved, either resolve it or get away.
Pretty much, because if it's arguments that never like really got resolved or addressed. It's going to be there forever. Like, so either you're going to get it out on the table now, or if y'all decide to be friends, then that argument's going to continue. It's going to happen again. And it's worse when you're friends. It's like, I don't owe you nothing. Like, we're not together. I don't owe you nothing.
But that's why I talk so much about boundaries, because I'm like, if you don't establish where you are in any relationship, especially ones where you've been intimate before and then you're not, it becomes a territory for like a conflict of some kind because of exactly what you just said. That lack of obligation, that lack of clarity, that fantastic middle ground gray area that everyone loves so much, because I can dance around in here like I'm really doing this, but when I feel like jumping ship, I can, because I don't have a defined place. So I can like jump in and out as needed. So in order to avoid all that madness, either let things go and just go, or fix it and establish this is what we are, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going to be conducted. Because if you don't,
problems.
A breeding ground.
Oh yeah. A breeding ground. I'm talking like
for issues.
I'm talking about Mad City. Anyway, the next one.
I love it.
So it's gonna happen.
Intimacy.
If you want it or not.
Intimacy.
Especially if you still had a flame, y'all start thinking about that time that y'all did that one thing when y'all both got drunk and went out and came back.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, right? And then you were like, we can just do it one more time, right?
Nobody will know.
Nobody will know. And then y'all do it one more time, and then one more time, and then one more time.
Cut it out.
And then you know what ends up happening? Y'all back in a relationship. And didn't even know.
Or you cheating on the new relationship.
Oh yeah. Or a baby comes up. So
don't be ridiculous. Cut it out.
I'm just saying, when you're there and you're not really gotten over each other, if it's been like years, you haven't seen each other, y'all don't want each other, none of that stuff going on, it may not happen. But if y'all was, like I said, if I was in love with you, like, those feelings doesn't go anywhere soon. So we're hanging around, you kicking it at my crib, I'm kicking it at your crib, and
let's be honest, people don't always get ugly.
No.
If I thought you were attractive and I was dating you, you're still attractive. Now, something you did may have made you less attractive. Yeah. That's possible.
Yeah, but that one thing you did, that one time, and I wasn't expecting it, no one else can do that but you. And now we're back.
Next.
Good morning. So Family Feud, which means, you said it earlier.
We were talking about that earlier. Friends, family, mutual playing ground.
I have a question.
What?
If you had friends with you became friends with your ex's friends, when y'all break up, it's like when he takes all his stuff, do he take his friends with him? Like, you can't have my friends. These are my friends now.
Some people do.
You can't have my friends. I came with them. You didn't come with them.
Some people do.
I think that's fair.
Some people.
You can't be friends with my friends.
Some people exchange friends. Some friends take sides. Some friends disappear. Some friends you just have to retreat from because they, like, whatever. It just happens.
I like the friends that take sides, though. I'm gonna tell you why.
What?
Because it's always funny. You got to hear their logic. Their logics of actually taking sides is, oh man, Amanda was kind of right on this one. Really, bro?
So
like, you were my friend. Like,
I don't mind friends that take sides.
As long as it's for you.
No. I don't mind friends that take sides as long as they're taking sides openly and rationally. So if me and you argue and we have a mutual friend, right? And the friend is like in the room or present and both of us are like, we're all communicating, everybody's whatever. And they're like, you were wrong. I'm cool with that. Because you're entitled to your opinion. I'm
saying when we break up, though. Like, yeah. If a person breaks up and
just because, and it's like any friendship, just because you think I was wrong doesn't mean you're not my friend no more. I can still be wrong and be cool with you.
But some people aren't mature. They'll say,
but we talk about maturity already.
So you just, right? So you're just going to take her side.
But that's maturity.
That's maturity.
If you wrong and somebody tells you wrong, swallow it. You might actually be wrong, or that's just their opinion. That doesn't mean you can't be friends no more. As a matter of fact, I love having different friends. I love having friends that probably don't agree with me about nothing. Because eventually, I'm not even gonna say eventually, every day when I talk to somebody that's not like me, I learn from them. Mm-hmm. Whether it be something I believe is right or wrong, or something I'm totally indifferent about, or whatever it is, if you're nothing like me, then your perspective of what that is totally different from the perspective I have. Yeah. And I learn from you. So I'm cool with you saying I don't agree, or I'm leaning his way. I think he was right, or I think you were wrong. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Don't be secretive about it. Don't be the friend. Yeah. Don't be the side friend that's like, hey, Prince, Amanda was really messed up for that. Oh, girl, don't worry about it. We cool. Mm. You know, yeah, I feel you. And don't be that friend. Don't be that friend. That sneak in after the fact. Like, you know what? He didn't know how to treat you anyway. But I do. Oh, I've seen it. I've been waiting on you. Oh, I've seen it. I've been waiting to you. They're like, I knew you guys was gonna break up. They're like, hey. As soon as that door opened up. Hey. What's up? I was just thinking that. I was gonna take you out to eat. I saw how he was doing you. You at Chipotle? He was wrong for that. He never took you to Chipotle. I'm just saying, guys, cut it out. Stop. Don't do that. Don't do that. That looks horrible, man. It's so grimy and gross. Oh, God. Oh, it's so nasty. Like a snake. Ugh. Inability to move on. Some of y'all really don't know how to move on. Do we have to like... Just really getting stuck. You know what I'm talking about. Like... Oh, I know. What do you mean? Like, we've been divorced for 3 years. Move on. I feel like when that happens, I think the problem is when people separate from each other. Divorce, separation, move on, break up, whatever it is. People do it in such a way that you have to plan for everything. Yeah. This is life. It's not a game. You have to plan for that. So if I tell you it's over, there needs to be a solid, this is what you can do, this is what we can do, this is what's allowed, this is how the game is going to be played. But that's me, because when I'm done, when I'm all the way done, I'm done. Yeah. Like, we ain't playing the middle gray line, like, kind of, sort of, I'm over here, I'm over there. Like, yeah. I don't do that. If I'm done, I'm done. Yeah. Like, you ain't spending the night, we ain't hanging out, we ain't. Now, like you said, if there's some time, there might be a, hey, let's go to dinner, lunch, let's catch up, make sure you're doing okay. It's been a year since I've seen you. Or something like that. But there's not going to be this weird, like, middle ground of, like, we're cool. Unless I know that some people struggle with that whole thing because they have children. But even that is a plan, like, going forward. Planning that how are those things going to be addressed, because it has to be intentional. Everything has to be intentional, because if you don't learn how to draw boundaries for yourself and you don't learn how to distinguish what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, your children won't. Like, what you do is an example to how they will facilitate their relationships. Sure. So if I don't, like, the hardest thing I ever had to do was to take my child and say, mommy's not spending the night over there. Mommy's not coming with you. You're going to have to spend time with daddy when you have time with daddy, and you spend time with mommy when you have time with mommy. Yeah. Mommy cares about daddy. Daddy cares about mommy. We're friends, because that's the only way to explain that to a child. Right. But we don't hang out. And that's okay. Yeah. And it can be put really simple, but one, so you're letting them know, I respect this person and I value the place this person has in our lives and in your life, but there's also a boundary put there.
Yeah.
And the same goes the other way.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, how will they ever do it? Because how many kids have you seen that are like forcibly trying to put their parents back together?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of sad.
And what happens to those parents that are already in relationships? Like, that's hard.
It's a strain.
Because I'm looking at, parents that are trying to just be cordial or trying to co-parent and carry other relationships, and kids trying to like set their parents up.
Which is not, I get it,
Of course. But establishing, like I said, a boundary of like, mine asking me, can you come with me to spend the night? No. Yeah. Mommy doesn't spend the night at daddy's house.
Yeah.
Period. Yeah. It doesn't happen. Yeah. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And them having an understanding of, okay, this is where we draw the line.
So on the other end of that, so what do you think about you was dating someone? Mm-hmm. They used to come over to the house or whatever if they was out and about. They've been drinking a little bit too much and it's closer to your house. They'll come and stay the night at the crib. Y'all broken up, right? And they call you in the middle of the night and say, hey, I'm out. I've been drinking. I really
so they're in trouble.
Can't drive. Can I come stay in the crib?
They're in trouble.
Yeah. Can they come stay at the house?
Yeah, you can say.
Why?
Because I wouldn't want nothing to happen to you.
Call Uber. Call Lyft.
Yeah.
Call a friend.
What I'm saying
call
is...
another friend, not me. Call another friend, not me.
What I'm saying is they can come. I'm not necessarily saying they can stay, but I would help. If they got there and I could just get them an Uber to go home, sure.
Right.
They may not be in the place where they even had Uber to call or could use the app. They might be so messed up they can't use the app. Mm-hmm. Whatever. So because there are some, like I've seen people that were intoxicated or whatever, only knew one phone number or only could contact one person or it was the only person's number they know by heart or whatever. I get that. But there are other ways to resolve those things.
Yeah.
To say like, yeah, you could show up at my door. I'll get you an Uber to go home. Or yeah, if my daughter's not home, you could like crash on the couch and at 6 a.m. I'm going to be like, hey, you got to get the hell off my couch and get out. Yeah. But again, it's about boundaries. It's about saying like, this is as far as I'm going to let you like crawl across this little line. Mm. And it can't be just for that person. It has to be who you are though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, people blur the lines in all of their relationships. It's not just like an ex. It's not just a friend. It's not just, they just are bad with boundaries, period.
Yeah. I don't know. If my ex hit me up and said, hey, I'm drunk. I want to come by the house because, I'm closer to you. Is that okay? And I'm like, you've been drinking. You know what I'm saying? So that's already going to be a bad situation right there. You get a little frisky, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then, why do you call me? We're not. That's not my responsibility anymore.
It's not the role.
You're not my problem anymore. So when you do that, it kind of makes it. You know what I mean? You're trying to wiggle your way back.
And I think that's tough for me. I'll be honest, because I'm a counselor.
I know, I get it. I'll say stay right where you are.
And I think that like for me it blurs the line of like being your friend and then just a safety issue.
So safety issue is stay right where you are. I'm gonna come to you.
Or I'll
take you home. Or I'll call Uber and they'll come and get you and take you home.
But I'll tell you this, I'm a third party person. Like I will definitely, if I'm coming to get you or you are coming to my house, it will not be a situation where we are there alone.
True.
I will not do that. So if I'm home alone, I am never going to put myself, especially if I have a man that like comes to my house, has a key or stays with me or whatever, like you are not going to be on my couch. So my dude could walk in here and see some random dude on the couch. Like that's a nightmare waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So
I will call this Uber for you very quickly so you can scoop. All right. You feel forced to be friends with that person. We all have been there where we feel like, man, they're just going through a tough time right now. They're all broken up about the breakup.
Or this one. We have such a long history together.
We've been together for so long.
My family knows your family. My friends know your friends. Our friends are all friends. Your friends are my friends. My friends are your friends. We belong friends.
Yeah. You feel forced. Don't ever feel forced to be friends with nobody. Like, or in a relationship. Like, just if it's done, it's done. They will play on that because they know, like, but it's only right that we're friends, right?
Because we're like this.
Because we're
super.
We've been together for 7 years.
Like intertwined like this.
No, we don't have to be friends. No.
But your friends are my friends.
Okay.
But they invited me for Thanksgiving and they invited you for Thanksgiving.
I'm bringing my girl, though. Like, you know that, right? Bringing my girl.
But I'm still going to be there.
Okay. Just know, I'm bringing my girl.
Would you bring her?
My girl?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm bringing my girl.
Why?
To Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Because it's Thanksgiving?
Because she belongs there with me. She's my girl. You're not. So, I'm sorry.
So are you bringing her solely because, like, what if you have planned Thanksgiving apart and that happened? Are you bringing her solely because
Absolutely. Babe, plans have changed. You're not going to your parents' house in Vermont. You're coming with me. Why? Oh, because Susan's going to be there. And where did I come up with Susan? Anyway.
I was like,
how did I come up with a name? Susan. I never dated Susan, so whatever.
Susie. I like Susie better. Susie is going to be just there. Because Susie sounds like
manipulative. If your name is Susie, there's no shot towards you, but it just sounds very.
It's right next to Floozy.
Oh, wow.
Susie.
I'm just saying, no, you have to come with me. I'm sorry. All right, so the next one. This is the top one. This should be number one. Jealousy. This is a person you've been intimate with.
We've been talking about this the whole time on every topic.
On every topic. You've been intimate with this person that shared all kind of life things, money, space, time, energy, thoughts, feelings, emotions. A problem. And you come in the door with Susie for Thanksgiving?
But me and Susie are just cool.
Nah.
But Susie's my baby moms.
Nah.
But me and Susie are trying to be good co-parents for our kids.
No. Did you and Susie have sex?
We don't anymore.
But did you?
But we don't anymore.
All right, fellas, this is the real thought. If you're good in bed.
I don't even like Susie like that.
And your ex is around.
I don't like Susie like that.
Your current girl is going to say she knows how you get that. That had never been erased from her mind. So she's thinking, we ain't got to do nothing, but I'm going to sit here and look at you.
But me and Susie ain't like that.
Susie like, what that mouth do? But she ain't saying it out loud.
But me and Susie don't even talk like that.
But she's here.
But me and Susie, we just cool with the same people.
Okay. But some people are just jealous. Because they knew that you was intimate. And now I can speak from a guy's standpoint, right? If I'm with a girl, her
So is that justified?
What?
The jealousy? The insecurity?
For the new person?
Yeah.
It can be. You got to think. It depends on how in depth that relationship was. If they was together for like mad years.
So what if people are just like, this is my baby mom's or this is my baby daddy. I want them to be a part of my kid's life. We're just cool. It's not like that.
I'm cool.
You should trust me. Blah, 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 blah. Now we're going to do Thanksgiving and you stay here.
No, I'm not doing that. No. Who are we trying to make comfortable now? Who's comfortable now? Because if you're making me stay at the crib because you want to go and have Thanksgiving with your ex.
I'm doing this for my kids.
That's cool. I'm coming.
But I'm doing this for my kids.
Cool. I want to support you.
But my kids don't understand that.
Don't understand what? Because they see us together all the time. I'm confused. How's that confusing to you? We together all the time. We're going to go together. It has to be that way. because that's where jealousy comes into play. You're excluding one person to make another person, I don't care if it's a kid or the ex, comfortable. If you really want to be with this other person, you gotta involve them in it so jealousy doesn't play a part.
So what about the friends part with the jealousy part? Like if I don't bring you around my friends because I know like my ex-husband is still like intertwined in that, you know, say it's like, you know, marriages or long-term couples are like friends with other couples. Mm-hmm. What if I don't bring you around a couple that I'm friends with because my ex is still involved with that couple? Like my ex-husband is best friends with my friend's husband.
Who are we trying to make comfortable now? That's what we gotta get in our heads. Who are we doing this for? Are we doing it for ourselves? Are we doing it for them? Because the last time I checked, we are here together. We're in a relationship, not them. If they're uncomfortable because I got you around, because I used to be with that person, they don't know how to take it. That's their problem. It's not my problem. That's their problem. If you want to continue being friends with me, you got to understand at some point, I'm going to be dating somebody else. You're going to have to get to know this person. If you're serious about the person, right? So if we've been dating and I'm very serious about you, I know we're going to try to make this thing shake, then you're going to come around everyone that I'm with. Mm-hmm. My friends, my family, shit.
So everybody. Just for like a disclaimer, I was simply playing devil's advocate on every possible front, like kids, no kids, friends, marriage, whatever. So people kind of get like a general consensus of both sides, right? Because what the new person feels like, and I like the point you brought up that I didn't articulate it that way, but like who you're trying to make comfortable. Because some people simply feel like, and I know that sometimes that sounds like a cop-out, but sometimes people really just say, I don't want to cause a problem.
With who?
Who you trying to make comfortable.
Who you trying to make comfortable.
But I've heard that for the sake of avoiding a conflict. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that enough people say, like, wait a minute, I'm just trying to take care of me. Like, I want to be happy. I want to move on with my life. I don't need to make other people comfortable. But not enough people think of it that way. I didn't think of that phrase before you said it that way. Like, who you trying to accommodate?
That's all it really breaks down to.
But I do understand when people say, I'm just trying to avoid an issue. Because a lot of times when I chose not to engage in something or not to go to an event and I'm talking about like big events. Like I've had friends that have had baby showers, had babies, and I chose not to go for the sake of peace or for the sake of like not wanting to cause discomfort. And I think that my only like upside in it was that I chose not to go. I didn't say I'm going to go and not include you knowing my ex would be there. Yeah. But I'm just not going to engage in it at all.
I feel like you're going to constantly dance around the other person if you continue doing that. It has to be a point where you're going to have to be confronted with this. Mm-hmm. Now, we just got to let it blow up. I'm a big fan of just letting stuff blow up. Let's just blow it up. Now we can try to put the pieces back together, and sometimes we can put it back together and it's much better than it was before. Mm-hmm. Some people just want to dance around it because they feel like it's comfortable. It's no argument.
They don't want to make waves.
Frustration. There's no waves.
They don't like waves.
I mean, throw a boulder in water and see what happens.
People
cannonball on that mother. I'm all about the wave because I'm like, look, you gotta see the change.
Prince is making tsunamis.
Oh, I'm out here tipping over boats. I'm out here drowning people. Look, because my thing is, I want you to understand, we're trying to make everyone comfortable, and in turn, we are making ourselves uncomfortable because we're overthinking it. We're getting tense. We're getting stressed. Mm-hmm. We're losing out on time, opportunities, events. Like these are things you can't do again. Sometimes it's just one of those type of birthdays. Or it's only one of those type of baby showers, or there's only one of those Christmas parties.
And I think but even that is like, just because I know you as a friend, I know that that's like your frame of mind, right? You think of life in terms of like the moments. And I don't think enough people do that. Enough people don't realize that when you choose to remove yourself from things, and I'm guilty of it as well, but when you choose to remove yourself from things or remove yourself from people or these are like life changing, right? Because like you said, there may not be another one. And I don't think, our topic last week where we talked about Nipsey, it's like when things like that happen, you get to this point where you realize like tomorrow isn't promised. That moment may never be there again. Mm-hmm. But when we make a choice to say, this is a relationship that is not good for me, or it doesn't serve its purpose going forward, or it's not going to make me a better version of myself, then it's okay to pull back.
It's more than okay. It's actually necessary sometimes, because if you don't, you won't be able to progress and move forward. You find yourself being in this weird limbo state. Like stagnant mode. It's like, where are we?
And you become like frustrated with life. You become just angry and bitter and all the time, and just resentful and disgusting and
crazy.
Acrimony.
Yeah. Good movie, by the way. But to the point today, if you're friends with someone and y'all used to date, you can make it work. Great. Mm-hmm. Perfect. If y'all both are making it work, perfect.
The point is find a balance. Find a balance. Find some boundaries. Communicate. And if you have kids, plan. Like, consider the fact that, yes, absolutely, it's important to be cordial. It's important to work together. It's important to have the idea that you have a job to do in raising kids, and you have goals to meet and standards to set. But when you leave things undone, unsettled, you create this atmosphere of unsettled, undone, that being okay. Yeah. Like, teach your kids to problem solve. Teach them to have a conversation. Teach them to communicate openly and honestly, and be able to say, this just didn't work. And it's okay that relationships don't work. Yeah. So they're not dying every time they lose a relationship. Yeah. By the way, number one cause of attempted suicides for little girls, teenage girls, breakups. Why? Yeah. Why? Because we don't learn how to problem solve in relationships. Because we don't learn that something ending is okay. It's okay. So learn how to do that. Learn how to communicate and just say, separate. It's all right. Be at peace. Because if you don't, and explaining that everybody's not going to always like you. And it's okay too. Everybody's not going to always like you. Yeah. Everybody's not going to always be a fan. Everybody's not going to be okay with what you're doing, okay with where you're going. And if it ends, it ends. And that's fine. It's fine. Well, we're at the end of the show. I hope you learned something today. Like I said, if you're friends with your ex and you make it work, great. If you're in that weird state that you probably shouldn't be friends with your ex, hopefully we helped you out with something today, give you some insight on that as well. Make sure you please go and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on all our social media at Morning Coffee, on Facebook at Morning Coffee. You can find me on Instagram at P. Hakeem, and I know it's unapologetic, unmatched, unapologetic. There's an underscore in the middle, but it's down. It's right here. Yeah, it's there. Whatever. Mine's right here. So, all right. I'm Prince Hakeem. I'm Mandela. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch you next time.